Hello, who is awake tonight? It's Wednesday night. It's Dr. Melva coming to you live from my home office on a Wednesday night. We just got back from church about an hour ago. The kids are asleep. It was kickoff for the Awanas. And I wanted to come on and share with you. Welcome. How's everybody doing? Let's talk about success. I want to get everybody prepared for success. September is the new January. That's what we're claiming, right? Welcome. Let me know you're here and you're joining. We're gonna have a little book club tonight. I'm reading High Performance Habits. I wish I could get it so it wasn't backwards. Oh, that's not gonna work. Anyway, High Performance Habits, Brendon Burchard, and I just want to share a few of my takeaways. I talked about that a little bit this morning, those of you who follow me on Dr. Melva, but after going through the day, hump week, Wealth Wednesday, Wellness Wednesday. It's all about your mind and success and creating your next success. So I want you to know that your success is coming. So those of you just joining, I'm Dr. Melva, your board certified radiation oncologist, and I help breast cancer patients live their most vibrant, healthiest lives they can post-cancer treatment. I also work with other professionals to help them get out of the grind as a busy mom, busy working professional, and we talk about everything right here, right? This is my personal page, so most of you have known me for a long time. If you're just joining me for the first time on one of these lives, welcome and thank you so much for joining. So let me know when you're here or if you're watching a replay, #replay, so I know when you're watching it. Let's see. Let's get going, okay? This is just going to be a few minutes because it is hot. We're doing the less ACs this summer, and I have night hair, but let's go. All right, so let me know if you get value from this, but we're going to have a little book club tonight. Is that okay with everybody? I hope so. All right, so I want to help you to realize some things that you can get better in, right? So a lot of us are very successful already. We've achieved a lot of goals in our lives. So I see a lot of my fellow physicians on the line. I know you're working and you have achieved great success. Some of my PhD buddies, professional consultants. I see a mix of people who are here watching me and who follow me. And the message I want you to get is that prepare yourself for even more success. So what he talks about in the group in this book is that what you'll see with success in general is that in almost any endeavor, it's made possible by things that you can change. So I really think that's the take home, is that you can change. So let's talk about that. So if you can change something, that means that you have to put effort in, right? So things you can change and improve with effort. And he lists about 8 examples. So let's go through the list. So the mindset you choose to adopt, right? So the way you approach and think about things. You can change the focus you give to your passions and the persistence you pursue with them. You can change the amount of practice you dedicate yourself to. You can change the way you understand and treat others. That's a good one. You can change the discipline and constancy with which you strive for your goals. I'm looking at the book for reference. You can change the way you bounce back from losses. And you can change the amount of physical exercise you do to keep your brain and body fit and your overall well-being cared for. So that's kind of the list. And then what he talks about is looking in his work, and he has this lab. And so he's talking about doing 100 million, I believe, all these surveys and all these people who have done this. He has this high performance institute, and he looks into what people are struggling with. And he talks about what they want in life and what helps them to get that change. And what he largely found, which I think is fascinating, is that the people who are successful, it's things that they're doing on a daily basis, the activity and the habits that they have that you can change. So that list that I just went through basically said that success is not achieved by a specific type of person. So don't count yourself out if you're oh, I'm not outgoing, or I'm an introvert, or I'm not a, XYZ, but rather by people from all walks of life who enact a specific set of practices, okay? And then he goes on to say what exactly are those most effective practices. So that's just a little snippet from the book, but what I wanted you to get from that is that your effort, what you're doing every day, your activity, the habits that you are creating over and over can help you to have even more success. And I shared this morning, I don't really remember which platform because I've been chatting a lot today. It's my social media day. But I don't know about you, and let me know when you're joining in here and if you're getting value. I can't really see all the comments. But when I was growing up, I learned the 21 days to make a habit. We weren't really taught that you can take a habit and with effort and really like create a ton of new habits. It was kind of like you create new habits if you needed to, right? Or like if you wanted a habit so you would stop saying the word when you're talking or whatever, that you'd practice that. Or if you wanted to stop chewing gum so loudly, whatever it was, we just didn't, and I had a good upbringing, but I don't remember that being an emphasis. Now, it's almost a little different position. It's saying to be successful that you can actually improve upon the successful habits that you already have. And he goes into different practices you have. But I just think that going through that list, for me, it was helpful because when I've read his book and I've heard him talk, I identify as a high performer. So let me know if you're someone who identifies as a high performer. Like, have you ever done one of these surveys and you've gotten the results, or you hear someone talk about what it takes to be a high performer and you're like, raise my hand, I'm a high performer. But what this book did for me, and I'm still reading, I haven't gotten through all of it, but what the book helped me to see is that I can be an even higher performer, right? So I can set that bar up by focusing on it, not being distracted. Okay, I see some people raising their hands. Yes, high performer. So the reason I really like that section, and it doesn't seem that profound, I guess, when I'm like sitting here reading it, but it's the word that stood out for me was effort. Your effort can determine your success, your activity, what you're actually doing. Yes, I see some people raising hands, high performers joining me. So thank you for that. So again, effort. And the reason I say that is because I don't know if anybody watching me here is a perfectionist, right? Or a recovering perfectionist, that you can't just go and do something if you don't have it all together. Sorry, things are popping up. Another thing that tells me is that, like, look at this first section. He says the mindset you choose to adopt. Like, it's a choice. How much effort are you putting into personal development, reading, doing your meditation and your prayer every day? How much effort are you putting into reflecting on like how you're thinking and approaching things? Like, it takes intentional effort. So like for me, let's go back to me. So in medical school training, I see a couple nurses on here, again, doctors who are joining, and in and out. We had tracks to run on, right? Like being an entrepreneur, and I see some entrepreneurs in the group, authors in the group watching me. We had tracks to run on, like for medical school, so I knew what I was aiming for, what I was supposed to do. You had to do a lot of effort, but it wasn't just like this entrepreneurial world where you have nobody standing on your shoulder going, hey, I need you to focus. Or, hey, do you want to like keep going until you get to your goal? Like, you don't have that. You don't have, if you do this first, then you do this next, whatever, this is how you're successful. So you have to put in effort. You have to choose what mindset you're going to take. You have to pour into yourself to grow and to learn. Okay. Hey, welcome. Thanks so much for joining, everybody. Guilty. Yes. You said guilty. Hello. Welcome. Thanks for joining. We're talking about high performance habits. It's Dr. Melva's book club tonight. So effort, and then the way you understand and treat others. What's another, let's see. Okay. The other one I'll talk about real quick and then I'll hop off because it's hot. It's always hot back here, only when I'm doing lives. The way you I messed that up. The way you bounce back from losses. Okay, let's end on this. Okay, the way you bounce back. I'm like the bounce back queen. Okay, because losses, failure, not having success, like that's going to happen when you're pushing, right? When you're continually working to do better and to do more, you're going to fail. You're going to fall flat on your face, but you have to bounce back from losses. And that is almost, in my mind, now I'm off the book because I haven't read the next section, but in my mind, how strong you are at bouncing back after a loss, I think it's one of the biggest indicators of how successful you'll be. So those of you who may not know my story, or like we just met yesterday or recently, I've had to bounce back from a lot of things. And it has made me stronger every single time. And I share a lot of my stories because I know that it frees other people and it allows you to say, hey, look, it's okay not to get it right. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to completely butcher something, right? Because then you get up and you do it again. So a couple things I hope you take home from this. One, you should be reading, okay? I do 15-minute blocks. I used to be like, what do you call those people who like always had a book in their face? Like I wouldn't smile. I didn't talk. I was like so serious in school. And I remember when I was 5, they were like, oh my God, can you smile? And then I think I like never stopped. But anyway, bookworm, that's it. Thanks for the help. I'm getting texts like bookworm, Melva. I used to be a bookworm, but as life goes on, your priorities are going to change, but you have to keep reading. I like the hard books. For a while, I was 100% like Audible, or what's the one free at the library, like Over something. I would do that in my commutes, but I think it's important. There's something about like holding a book, right? Like, and there are even studies that say like writing pen to paper, I take little notes, have little, bookmarks. I think the art of having like a real book, there's something to that. So anyway, however it works for you, read, absorb, learn, grow. That is what's going to help you grow the most, because what happens otherwise is like we get stuck and we don't see a way out, right? And that's no good. That's no good, especially if you're already a high achiever, because then you get into self-doubt, right? It happens. You don't have to raise your hand because I know it's a little personal. But you just wonder like if you've hit a wall because you're so used to being successful and you're just like, okay, like what's happening? So anyway, I want you to bounce back. I want you to keep reading. I want you to block time, commit to it, and find a book that moves you. So it may be hey, welcome, thanks for joining. It may be the High Performance Habits by Brendon Burchard that you read. It may be another book. Share with me, let me know what you're reading. But you have to read and grow. You have to continuously work on your mind. You have to, delve into yourself with personal development, because it can be hard being an entrepreneur. It can be hard working full-time. It can be hard raising kids. There's a lot of hard, and you get to choose that. But what I liked is that he talks about effort and a specific set of practices where you get success. So if you've had success in something, whether that's graduating from nursing school, medical school, professional school, getting your PhD or master's, or, getting that rank advancement in your company, or promotion in your job, or being a mom, or whatever you've had success with in your life, you can still have continued success because you're learning that set of practices. But to have that set of practices and skills, it takes work, okay? So anyway, I hope this was helpful. Thank you for those of you joining me. I don't know if I could see all the comments because Facebook is like so funny. Let's see, any questions for me? Was that valuable? All right, some people raise their hand. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Dawn. Hello, Samantha. Hello, Amanda. Hello. Let's see, Jennifer, Crystal, Felicia, Laura, thanks so much for joining. Aisha, Dr. Dre, Leisha, thank you so much for joining. I hope you guys got value from this. Again, this is Dr. Melva's book club, High Performance Habits. Until next time, I hope you have a great night. If you didn't catch my live from last night, check out my, what did I do? The meal prep, the boxes. And I asked someone in North Carolina today, and they're like, well, you know what we do with cardboard? We burn it in the backyard. And I was like, yeah, I don't live in the country. So I think if I start burning the cardboard, it might not work. Until next time, you can find me right here. Love you guys. Bye.